Welcome to Guitar Time. I'm Robert Knoll, and I'd like to teach you what I call chord shuffle. This is very, very cool. It can be very useful when you're playing rock and roll, when you're playing blues, maybe in jazz, and all kinds of songs. Sometimes you want to shuffle with chords. So when we first learned to shuffle, as you remember, we were playing like open A, and we were putting our first finger on E, D, and going to F sharp with our third, playing two notes, bass rhythm, and we were doing this. Well, if I was to analyze that, I would say, well, A is my root, and I would say this first finger on E, that's the perfect fifth. And if I was to count up my major scale and find out what F sharp is, that would be my major six. So here I get my E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is F sharp. So if I take that to, let's say, a bar chord, and I'm going to play, to start with, I'm going to start with an A7 chord. Notice my baby finger's free, but I've got my first finger on a root, a perfect fifth. I've got a dominant seven, a major third. I've got a perfect fifth and another root. My fingering is 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1. So we're borrowing the fifth fret for A, right? So that's my A7, my A dominant 7. So if I was to take my baby finger and I have an A and an E, which is my A chord, and I've got an E here. If I strum to that, and then that I realize that's my perfect fifth, I want to go to what would be the major six, just like this. So if I did this while I'm strumming the chord, I get this. So here we go. This is the first kind of shuffle, chord shuffle to practice. So listen, I'm going to run through like a 12 bar. Here we go. And I'm back to A. Want good finger placement on your chords. I can strum just to the fifth string, or I could strum all 6 strings. Now, that's kind of cool because, you know, if I was in a song, maybe I might be shuffling. Shuffle, and then maybe I go to chord shuffle. And then I go to a regular bass shuffle, and then I go to a chord shuffle. So it can add some things. If someone else in the band or someone else you're playing is doing a bass shuffle, bass rhythm shuffle, well, you might want to consider doing a chord shuffle. So chord boogie, what would I do? Well, if we got the fifth to the sixth, which is F sharp, and then we put our fourth finger down on the G note, which would be from our boogie. So if I did this, while I'm strumming my chord, my fifth, my sixth, my seventh, back to the sixth, and then to the fifth that's barred, I get. So it's like really cool. I could shuffle and then do boogie. Boogie, shuffle, chord shuffle. And then maybe going back and forth. You know, I could do a lot of things with that technique, that skill. That gets you doing things with the chords, seeing your intervals, your 5, your 6, and your dominant 7 back to your 6. So if I went to another level with this that's interesting, I might take the A7 and I would lay my third finger down And if I was to do that, I'm going to get other intervals. I'm going to get the sixth that I need, but I'm getting a perfect fourth and a root in the key of A. But if I look at that as, I could also look at that as a D chord. And as a D, this would be, the fifth, the root. Okay, so I could analyze that. So if I was to do something like this, check this out. Now I'm going to go up, down. So I'm barring, I'm just hitting those three strings. So it's just not the one note anymore, it's three notes. So I go to D, E, well now I boogie. What am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my third finger and I'm going to move that up to the perfect fifth, add my second finger on the dominant seven, just two notes. So I get the boogie 5, 6, 7, 6. And then I'm going. I could use 3 and 2, or I could use 2 and 1. It works either way. So I'm doing kind of a up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Then I'm sliding like a whole step in that third and second finger to the dominant seven on the top with the fifth on the bottom. Now E, I could go up the 12th fret. Maybe I could come down here to E like an E7. And I'm kind of hammering my first finger. There's my chord. Second finger makes sense here. So that's kind of cool. Another thing you need to know about this chord shuffle is I'm doing another technique. And that is, quite often, I don't have to do it, but I like doing it. I like hammering the major third. So when I see, if I'm doing like this, my second finger is actually up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I go up, down. And if you're doing it the groovy pattern way, that's with your thumb on the A, on the root, you might be playing what I call the groovy A7 chord. And this gives you the root, the dominant seven, the third, the fifth, and the root if you decide to hit it. But we get this up, down, 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 up. See, I'm putting that hammer in there. Up, down, again, again, again. So it's a great technique. So I hope you work on it, and it'll become part of your playing maybe at some time, and you'll find uses for the chord shuffle. It's great. It goes along with the shuffle and the boogie pattern, and it allows you to do some other colorations besides just the bass rhythm. Practice. Guitar time. Yay!